If she goes this way, we go the other way. If she goes this way, we go the other way. Because we know that we are dealing with an invisible hand.
The fourth faction that is not good for the country are the revolutionary type. They see South Africa as a field of competing narratives, views on reality and how things work. What they are trying to do is insert their narrative or story into the field of stories, so as to make people oppose and dislike each other. They want to cause so much division that at some point they emerge as the only answer or solution for South Africa. That is why any way they can, they try to pour paraffin on the fire to get people angry and divided.
Start here. Chaos broke out during Friday's EFF march to Brackenfell High School in Cape Town. More than 1,000 supporters took part and police fired stun grenades to disperse the crowds. Now, the march was staged after an alleged whites-only matric party. The EFF is now giving the school 7 days to fire the principal and 2 teachers.
The main figure in this group in South Africa today is, of course, the man called Sello Malema. Julius Sello Malema is a South African politician and the founder and leader of the Economic Freedom Fighters. Born on March 3, 1981, in Seshego, Limpopo, he has been a central and often polarizing figure in South African politics since his youth. He is everyone's favorite Gucci revolutionary who plays socialist communist on television. While being nothing of the sort, this man is a fake. He pushes ideas that he does not believe or hold in his own life in order to gather to himself followers he deploys to stir up division.
Me personally, I wouldn't take this level of disrespect.
As he tries to plant his narrative of reality in the heads of as many black people as he can in order to use them to take over the country at some point. Now, Juju is a Gucci revolutionary, so he would like to avoid actual gunfire if he can. He only talks tough and shoots into the air because it's an aesthetic, a style, a motif of this character that he's playing. Julius is a fraud and a scammer. Malema is no revolutionary because if the things he touts, like white monopoly capital, why not fight? If you're a revolutionary and bring down the entire thing. Revolution requires blood and sacrifice. Malema will never. It also destroys and displaces people. It brings countries to ruin and dysfunction from which they may never recover, or it takes decades, even centuries to recover from. It is a terrible idea for South Africa in reality or in the fiction that Juju is pushing. He's not telling the truth. He is a liar. What he's trying to do is build enough power and enough people so that he wins elections and the capital in the country actually has to come to him to negotiate with him, to come to the negotiation table and negotiate with him and have sort of a second CODESA with him. This is not the revolution of economic freedom for South Africans. This is economic freedom for him and his friends and his family. He is a tool of division.
The only thing we need to do is to make sure that this prosecutor, who is arrogant and suffers from a short man syndrome, is taught a lesson.
Why this even exists at all? This faction exists because there were many disaffected people who did not want to vote for the ANC and would not vote for the DA or anyone else. Malema then was expelled from the ANC and thus sought to make a political home for these people and young people with no fathers. I mean young people who believe the revolutionary sentiment of Julius Malema.
Stop it. Get some help.
Thankfully, no one trusts this guy or believes most of what he says, and many of the members on the ground either don't believe or really agree with his ideology. It is a political home or a career move for many people part of the EFF. Malema has stalled because people know what he is, a character, playing a role on television and trying to use his followers to get power and rich.
Magistrate Olivier is a racist of note, and she must know that in her sleep, that she's a racist and she's possibly a member of AfriForum. That's why when you mention AfriForum, she cannot hide her emotions. We're trialed by a magistrate who doesn't read.
He and the toy store revolutionaries have already failed, actually. They are only hanging on because the country is in disarray. If the country begins working efficiently, their relevance will dwindle even more. They have already failed. Why do you think he and Jacob Zuma are trying to unite? What a joke.
If you dare, buy us a coffee. The link is in the description.
Why are you running? Why are you running?